Nerd!
There's one more topic that I want to talk about today before we call it a day, and that is that Gal Gadot is staying around as Wonder Woman. And we've got this Variety article here that kind of outlines that basically Gal Gadot has come out publicly and said that she's talked with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and they want to develop another Wonder Woman movie with her in the leading role. And this obviously upset a lot of people about who are still upset over or Henry Cavill, I should say. So I just want to throw it out to the panel in general, especially you, Brian.
Yes.
How does this affect the DCEU going forward? Because it's not like a hard reboot. Like they're keeping some people, they're not keeping others. What's going on here?
I'm sorry. I should have muted myself.
That's okay. Yeah. So here's the deal. I get people are upset that Ben Affleck's out, Henry Cavill's out, but Gal Gadot is still in. I understand the confusion about how it's a soft reboot or hard reboot or whatever. I totally get that. And I was also bummed out that Henry Cavill didn't get the gig. Apparently, James Gunn just didn't want to deal with Cavill, didn't want the price tag. He wanted to shape his own Superman narrative. I totally understand all of that. And I just don't care because I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And I was hoping that some remnant of the Snyderverse would survive the Flashpoint pseudo soft reboot and continue forward. And I'm glad we got that. I think that the entire property has been mismanaged. I think James Gunn is amazing creative. He's a really amazing, entertaining guy. When it comes to creatively, making something like Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, any of his movies, I like them all. But I don't think that he has a lot of experience running a studio, because him coming out immediately a week before Black Adam and announcing that everything was being rebooted and all that craziness, and then launching his social media video about his next phase, and all before these movies are coming out that you're effectively saying are not important to the story anymore. All bad news. He destroyed Black Adam. He ruined Black Adam's chances of getting a China release. Had Black Adam gotten a China release, it would have been an almost $1 billion movie easily.
Odin.
No chance.
No, yeah, it made $480 million domestic.
You talking about Black Adam?
Black Adam made $480 million domestic. Yes, look it up, dude. Had it gotten a China release, it would have gotten $850 million easily. Yeah, look it up. It didn't get the China release it needed. So he's made a lot of mistakes with the studio. What?
It only made $168 million domestic.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Without China, it made $480 million. Correct?
It made $391 million.
No, 400. I looked at the numbers a week ago.
You guys need to
485.
You guys need to get your number places.
Whatever it is, it didn't get the China release. Think about this: Fast and Furious made.
You can't argue numbers with Odin.
No,
seriously.
I'm not gonna pull it up right now. I'm in the middle of a topic, but I know what it made, and considering that Fast and Furious made less than $200 million domestic, but it made 90% of its money in the foreign market because of its China release. Had Black Adam gotten a China release, it would have done much better than most of modern DCU films. But James Gunn, along with a plethora of other bad choices, has not gotten off to a great start in managing the studio. Although I trust him creatively, I don't trust his ability to run the studio right now. He's still learning. That said, I would rather Gal Gadot than someone we like than someone we don't know yet. And so far, his other casting has been pretty stellar. So I still trust Gunn. I still trust him creatively. Now, I don't trust the other management style, but creatively, I trust him.
So Nina and Odin, do you think it's a good idea to keep sitting on this fence with the DCU in terms of like who's playing what characters and stuff like that?
Who's going first? Because I'm triggered.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
What the hell, man? What the hell? Where's Henry Cavill? You got freaking Gal Gadot. We don't get Henry Cavill. This is bullshit. I feel like this is some ESG shit going on because Gal seems to be paying the gal pal now. She's all, oh yes, no way. She don't need no man. Like she don't need no man. We're gonna make a movie that's not based in like 1930s, and she's gonna be taking care of her own self. So it seems like Gal has jumped on the ESG bandwagon, and James Gunn's all, oh okay, you can come in and hang out as Wonder Woman, no problem, because the studios are still wanting, those kind of people, because I feel like Henry Cavill either one didn't get on his knees and wasn't sucking somebody else's, whatever, because that's what James Gunn's famous for, wanting that kind of stuff. So maybe that's one, or two, he's just not playing the game like everybody wanted him to on The Witcher. He wasn't gonna play the ESG game. He was gonna play that, like the stuff that Gal's doing now. So I think Gal jumped on board and they were like, okay, fine, then we'll give you a job. And I think just generally speaking, though, if you're a normie, like the whole DC franchise, like no matter where you want to start, is shit. Like if you're a normie and you only know what Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, it's so confusing. You got a Joker movie on the side, you got Joker 2 coming out. It's just like you got the Snyderverse, you got this, you got that. Like everybody's like, what the hell?
Yeah, what's
like, what is what? Like no one knows what the hell's going on. So I just don't see how this James Gunn universe is going to be doing any better than any of the previous movies have. I think a lot of people that are normies have kind of been like, look, at least Marvel has like somewhat of a theme going on where they're trying to kind of carry over for the normies, like something that kind of ties it to like the previous things, that there's a thread to follow. Whereas with DC, they're just all over the place. It's like, okay, one movie is this guy, one movie is the other guy, one movie it's like fucking, Batman is this guy, next one it's the other guy, and it's just confusing. It's just a confusing.
I'm still completely disinterested in anything Marvel right now. Like everything they
I mean, me too. I mean, I think, but we're not normies though. We're not normies. I think a lot of people are, I think even normies are starting to get sick of Marvel because Marvel is just like utter shit now. But at least, like I said, there's like a thread to follow with regards to the characters and the, Samuel Jackson's been the same guy for how many years? Like he's Nick Fury for a long time. You even had like 3 different Supermans or 3 different Batmans. Like it's just
you got a good point.
So guys,
too many Batmans too.
Real quick, Odin, you want to shoot some hard numbers at us from your hoo-ha Lizzo style?
Oh my God.
Yes. So just a fact check, because those numbers were completely false. Domestic box office for Black Adam was only $168 million, internationally only $223, for a total worldwide of $391 million on a $200 million budget, made the film a flop. Even with China, of which they only get 25% of the cut, it would not have been enough to be able to make its money back.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. So it was 390, not 490. But with a China release,
no, 390 worldwide. You said 400 plus domestic.
Yeah, okay. I misspoke. I meant 390. But had it gotten a China release, think about this. Fast and
Furious, it would not have made $1 billion.
Well, Fast and Furious made with a China release was able to hit what, 700 and something million? I forgot the number. Without the China release, with nothing but domestic, it made what, 180 something? I mean, the numbers check out
only
here.
Made
with the China release, it
139.
makes more.
It only made 139 in China.
I understand they keep only 25%, but these numbers are not accounting for what they keep. It's accounting for the whole number. And with the China release, it makes double what it made.
No. But again, the whole point is that Fast 10 only made 139 million in China. So are you trying to say that it would have made more than Fast 10 in China?
I don't know how much it would have made because it didn't come out in China. It didn't.
I know. I'm just putting it out there.
Wait,
but also,
Odin, regardless of the numbers, though, Brian does have a point. Like, regardless of the numbers.
Oh, had things been different, I think it absolutely would have done better. Like, I'm not going to argue that point at all. But also, like, that kind of brings it to the broader question that's being talked about, which is, for me, you brought this up, Nina, too, where if you look at the box office for MCU and DCEU, MCU hit a stride to where it was guaranteed to make money, to make profit every single time. $1 billion films started to become a little bit more commonplace versus any other franchise. DC only has $1 billion film in its belt, and it's the first Aquaman movie.
Yep.
And every other film, it basically had to fight to get the money that it actually got. There was no real guaranteed income. And in fact, they had several films that ended up being either flops or barely breaking even. So I think that with them choosing to do this, again, I like Gal Gadot. I think that she is a fine choice for this character. But at the same time, I have just so not cared about the DCEU for almost the entire existence of it since the beginning with Man of Steel. And I go by this all the time. The only film I actually genuinely like that I could rewatch is the first Shazam movie. And I mean, all the other films, I'm like, I saw them and I don't ever need to or want to see them again.
I didn't think Shazam 2 was bad. I mean, like
Shazam 2 was bad. I didn't like
it
Shazam
was
2.
entertaining.
I love
Like
the
it wasn't
first
like
Shazam
terrible.
movie.
The first one is fine.
It's weird how little money that made. I thought that movie was awesome.
But see, that's the thing, and that goes to your point, Brian, because I think that's the point, is that like James Gunn ruined a lot of these movies that could have made a lot more money had he not announced what he had announced, and had he not handled the Henry Cavill thing the way he did. Because Henry came out and like announced that he was going to be Superman. We were all excited. A lot of people were excited for that. So it was just for him to come and just kind of like throw everything under the bus, it was just really, it's just a bad look. And generally speaking, though, like having gone forward with the James Gunn universe now, we all know it's a thing. Like you can't escape it. Like this is going to be a thing now. So I was actually kind of excited. Like after the new casting was announced for the new, which is kind of like the clone of Henry Cavill, like younger version of him. But anyways, like the new casting was announced. So I was like, okay, like maybe DC's finally going to get this, you know, one universe characters, and it's not going to be confusing. It's going to be Superman Legacy. They're going to introduce this new slew of people. But then now he's like, okay, we're going to have the same Wonder Woman as the other one. So it's just like, I was kind of excited to see a new Wonder Woman, a new woman, a new girl, you know, step into the shoes and fill the role, because, you know, we can't have Gal Gadot playing that character forever either. I mean, she's getting older, and, you know, Wonder Woman is an endless, you know, mortal kind of character that's gonna like have to have the same look forever. She's gonna have to remain young forever. That's not gonna happen with Gal Gadot. But for some reason, we had to change Superman, and we kept Wonder Woman. It just makes no freaking sense at this point.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating. I built an entire channel basically when I was so excited about the Superman Henry Cavill news that I started an entire channel and then stopped making videos about a week after I found out he was gone.
All right. So first of all, Nina, taste the rainbow. Odin, thank you for being our community notes here on the Salty Salty podcast.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.